All right, I'm the Flat Rate Master, and today we're talking about you better verify your repair. All right, so this subject's kind of gonna be, well, pointing the finger at, well, people in a hurry, flat raters, yes, lazy people, hourly. But the thing about it is you need to verify your repair and you need to make sure there's nothing wrong with the vehicle that you caused. Now, what brings this subject up is the other day I had a tune-up on a 3.6 Jeep Wrangler. Typical, oil cooler was leaking, thermostat was setting a check engine light, and did spark plugs while I had the intake off. Took the intake off, no big deal. Did the spark plugs, did the oil cooler, cleaned everything out, put it all back together, did the thermostat and all that. Test drove it, pulled it right back in my bay after I got back with the test drive. Why? Because I had a misfire. Not a bad enough misfire to probably not set a check engine light, but bad enough that I could feel it. Hooked up the scan tool, went back in. Found out for somehow reason, the coil connector on a cylinder snapped off in the coil. So it was making contact every now and then for the most part, but then you'd have a It's important to verify that you fixed what came in for. Make sure the leak you fixed is fixed. The check engine light you fixed is fixed. But unfortunately, I see it way too often with two demographics: older technicians and younger technicians. They'll, sold me a coolant flush. Pull it in, flush out the coolant, fill it back up, crank it up, back it out, put it in its parking spot, and they're done. We had a technician here that did that. Got yelled at many times for it because, well, you have to go test drive, make sure the car you just messed with the cooling system isn't going to overheat. Because I can tell you right now, I've had cars where I vacuum filled them and did my test drive loop, and towards the end of the test drive, went boom, started climbing like a son of a. Pull it over the side of the road, shut it off, let it cool down, drive back to the shop, bleed the cooling system out again. So it's really important that, I know it's not always possible for every car, especially for the younger guys that are doing the quick lube, the oil change stuff. Pre-pull it in the shop test drive, and always a post-repair test drive. Now, sometimes a pre-test drive is not possible. Like if I've got an overheating complaint, I'm not test driving it. I'm going to bring it in as cool as possible, verify things like it's got coolant in it, like grinding brakes. Not test driving it when it's metal to metal. I'm pulling it into the shop because I don't want to lose a brake pad and lose all brake fluid or any of that kind of stuff. So it's getting pulled inside. But my point is, always have to take the car out on a final test drive to make sure it's good. I cannot stress that enough. You need to verify what you fixed is fixed and you didn't create any new problems. Now, I know this video is preachy. That Jeep is a perfect example. If I had not test driven that car, it sat there and idled in the bay fine. I could have backed it out, parked it, and it would have been back. Maybe on a tow truck, maybe just pulling in. But the point is, you got to verify your repair. As always, thanks for watching. I am the Flat Rate Master.